So I went in today for a bilateral salpingectomy, which is like a tubal sterilization. I have had some very complicated pregnancies, and so my doctor didn't recommend I carry anymore. Anyway, sorry, my voice is a little rough. But anyway, I wanted to share a little bit about my experience for those who are wondering. I chose to go with the salpingectomy rather than just the regular tubal ligation because there's some research that's suggesting that the ovarian cancer risk is decreased even more. Like, I want to say it's like 65% versus like 13 or something like that for the tubal ligation. So the salpingectomy has about a 65% reduction versus the 13 that a tubal ligation supposedly provides. Obviously, there's kind of a range there, and there's different research. But I figured if I'm doing a tubal sterilization procedure, might be a good idea just to go ahead and reduce my ovarian cancer risk. I lost my great aunt to it. I've had some distant cousins who've also fought it. So anyway, and salpingectomy is just removing the full fallopian tube on both sides rather than just like clamping it or blocking it in some form, which is the ligation method. Supposedly the ovarian cancer sometimes forms right at the end of the tube next to the ovary is what they're starting to find. So that's why they think that this is helpful. So it doesn't add much risk. There's no way to reverse it because you do not grow tubes back. So if you have any question, for one thing, you might want to reconsider tubal ligation even, but because there's no turning back, because there's nothing to even try to repair if you ever try to go back. So just some thoughts on that if you're trying to decide for yourself. I've done some research on a lot of the like really big government and like the ACOG with the big top organizations like that. Just to kind of get an idea, and then I've also talked to my doctor as well. Just my thoughts on it, based on what I've read. Do your own research, see what's right for you. But as for the process, I had check-in at 8:30. I was taken back to surgery at 9:45-ish, and I believe I got out around 11. That's what I was scheduled, 9:45 to 11. I was taken to recovery. And apparently I had been awake for about 20 minutes before I started recalling. And then they kept me for about another 20 or 30 minutes there in PACU, or the recovery for post-anesthesia. Everything was going well. They just monitored me for a bit. And they brought me back and monitored me some more back in my pre-op room. But nothing too different than other anesthesia experiences that I've had. It was a full general anesthesia. It went really quite smoothly. Let's see, my throat's a little scratchy, but that could be from either the breathing tube, but also with the laparoscopic salpingectomy, that can often also cause like some discomfort. They say in your neck, back and shoulder, because they have to pump in some different gas to help the surgeon see in your abdominal cavity. So do want to apologize for my appearance. My mascara, I didn't put it on because of surgery, so I just have a little bit remnants that didn't wash off in my shower earlier. By the way, they say I can shower kind of in the afternoon of tomorrow, so they want to give me a full 24 hours post-op to shower again. But overall, the pain's been pretty bearable. I have not taken more than ibuprofen since I got home. I do plan to take my oxycodone before I go to bed, just as kind of a proactive method to reduce the pain. But I'll see how that goes. At home, sometimes I don't feel any pain at all. Other times I have like the ache in my shoulder from the gas, which is a lot like kind of the neck and shoulder, kind of like the tension headaches I get. and so that's a bit annoying, but it's not anything worth narcotic use. But I do have 3 incisions. I'm not going to lift my shirt, but I'll show you kind of the area. So they did my belly button, and they did down here, and then they did one right above my pelvic, my pubic region. So I have 3. The bottom one is the one that's bothering me the most because my pants, my underwear, and everything keep bumping that. That's actually why I'm wearing a nightgown now, is so that I don't have anything rubbing on that. It's not too painful unless I contract those muscles. That can be a little bit painful, and even then it's peaking at like a 4 or 5 on the pain scale, which I'd say is not too bad. I do have a pretty decent pain tolerance, but I'm very human. So that's been pretty good. Let's see. I was told to take it easy and kind of rest. I'm not supposed to lift more than 5 to 10 pounds for about a month. My doctor told me that when I start feeling better, I can start exercising as long as it's not straining those incisions, because it can cause a hernia. So that's the biggest concern going forward. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at today.